Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Natan Mashanakabad La Hazakwanyim, Shal Yasharallah, Wa Shalawam, Wa Ahab, La Bakayar, Shal Yasharallah. This is going to be, we are Israel, right? The olive tree. So I'm going to start off with Exodus 1 verse 12 through 14. This is Exodus 1 verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because the children of Israel. Right? So that's what you see nowadays. Everybody's grieved because of the children of Israel are increasing. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve them with rigor. And that word rigor means harshly. Right? So we're seeing Jake being harshly treated here in spiritual Egypt. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, right? With concrete, with brick. And the manner of service in the field, all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor, right? So everything that we do here, whether it's working at Hobby Lobby or working at McDonald's, we're being made to serve with rigor, right? We're being dealt with harshly. So from there, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 10. Yahweh, your power, hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. Right? This day. We are for a multitude. Right? Innumerable. And it's not just the Negroes, but it's the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans. Because we all went through the curses. And we're all still going through the curses. So I'm going to read verse 11. Yahweh, God of your fathers, make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you. Right? And Yahweh never changes. He never changes. He always stays the same. So we're going to see all these things coming to pass, and some of these things have already came to pass. And bless you as he hath promised you. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance, and your burden, and your strife? Right? So we're going to be going through some hard times here in Babylon. So from there, I'm going to jump to Deuteronomy 28. And we're going to read the blessings. You know what, Salaki? We're going to read the curses first. And then the blessings. Salakia. You know what? Yeah, let's read the blessings first. This is Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto my voice, the voice of Yahweh, thy power, which observe and do the thing and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Right? So we're going to see that happen in the end, not currently. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, and thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be in the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket of thy store. Blessed shall... Right? We're going to be blessed, man. And Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. And that's what we will see. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. So they're going to be afraid of the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So from there, we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, verses 25, verses 25 through 46. And Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies, right? These are the curses. So we're going to be smitten before our enemies, and that's exactly what we see when the conquistadors, when the Edomites, those heathen came over here to the Americas and did the slave trade. We were all smitten before our enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, right? We were no match for their artillery. And it shall be moved into the kingdoms of the earth, right? The 4 corners of the earth, the 4 winds. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. So that's what you see whenever the white devils, as the natives called them, got smitten down. They were left out there in the field, and the carcass, the crows, the fowls of the air, along with the beasts, would come and eat up the bodies, right? They didn't care. They didn't want to bury them. Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt. That word botch means a boil. So with the boil of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. And that's what we see with the natives, in Mexico and Southern America. They had these chicken pox, they had these diseases that came upon them from head to toe, and they couldn't cure them. They've never seen them before. Yahweh will smite thee with madness, right? They won't be able to think straight. With blindness, they won't be able to see clearly. And with astonishment of heart, they're going to be amazed, through their hearts, and that means their minds. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blinded gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. You see Jake out here trying to better himself, trying to better himself as the white man sees it. But they're not trying to better themselves like Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai sees it, So their ways are vain, and they're not going to prosper. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled even more. And no man shall save thee, right? No man shall save us. We're doomed. Except for the elect being raised up by Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You don't see that only with the Negroes, but you see that with the natives. Their wives were raped, and with the natives in South America, their wives were raped and taken away. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. We're going to have these lands. We're not going to be able to enjoy them. Like water. Water is being sold unto us, and water was freely given to us. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. All our stuff is going to be taken away. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto other people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And that's what we saw back then, and that's what we're seeing currently, right? Jake's children are being stripped away from him, and Jake is being kicked out of here. And what can they do besides long for their children? The fruit of thy land and of thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, right? That's exactly what the heathen did when they came over here. They took over the lands, and now they say to get out of their land, when this land was ours to begin with. But they took up everything that we had. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed all away, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see, right? And everybody's mad about that. All Jake is mad about that. Why don't we have our land back? Why are we over here stranded? So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot up to the top of thy head, right? From head to toe, we're going to be covered in diseases. And Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Right? So what happened when the conquistadors came over here, The Portuguese, the Spanish, the Italian, the French, when they came over here, What did they bring with them? Religion, you know, their little cults. You know, we're not a cult. We're just following the truth. Y'all are the cults out there. You know, so they brought gods that we ended up worshiping. You know, us as young children were being taught to worship their gods, their white Edomite Jesus, you know, with wood and precious stone, right? Those crosses made out of wood and the precious stone made out of gold, silver, you know, just regular stones that they make with these pearl looking. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword, you know. So our people are astonishments, you know, for us. You know, we look at this and we're like, man, we really went through all that. You know, not only that, but we're also bywords wherever we go. You know, whether we go to Europe, whether we go to even Africa, we go to Africa and they call us what the Edomites call us, what the heathen call us, you know. Among all nations, whither Yahweh shall lead thee, thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. You know, so if you think about these 5-star restaurants, you know, and you picture it in your mind, drinking, or somebody drinking that expensive ass wine in those 5-star restaurants, all you can picture is an Edomite. You know, you can't picture Jake in there being all fancy and drinking that expensive wine. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and shall gather but little, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, nor thine oil shall cast his fruit. You know, that thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but shalt not enjoy them, for thou shalt go into captivity. So we're all in captivity currently. You know, we've been in captivity, and it's not as bad as it was before, you know, but now we have Jake's worshiping those gods and celebrating those pagan holidays, you know, and Jake is unaware. We tell Jake, you know, we tell the Israelites, we tell them what we should be following. You know, we tell them the laws, we tell them the scriptures, and they're still in unbelief. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall be locusts consumed. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. And that's what we see. And thou shalt come down very low. So who's very high right now? You know, who owns the money? You know, money is what makes you go up, right? So who owns the money? The Jewish. How did the Jewish get to that point? Right? With the money. There's this song by Jay-Z. It's called The Story of OJ. And, you know, it's a very visual video. And he says, you know what's more important than spending your money in a strip club? Credit. You want to know why all Jewish, or why most Jewish own most of America? And then it shows a little clip of how the money comes in, and he's in the very middle, and he says this is how they did it, right? Finance their freedom and their only hope. And that's exactly who's on top of the world right now, the Jewish. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And that's what we see, you know, these heathen Edomites all the way up, you know, these Jewish, and then you have the Israelites all the way down. We're in a very low state. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Who's lending us the money? The Jewish. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, right? So now we tell Jakes out here the truth, and they don't want to listen. And why is that? because the tail is so busy following the head. The Jewish, they want to follow that white Edomite Jesus. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee. So it's gonna happen, and it's been happening, till thou be destroyed. And Jake is completely destroyed. Like I mentioned, that tail is too busy following the head. They don't care about following Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? They're destroyed already. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments. Right? For all you saying that the New Testament doesn't say to follow the commandments. Man, Yahweh's forever. Right? He is, he was, and he is to be. And Yahweh Shai saves. And how is he saving? Through the commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Right? Yahweh stays the same. So he's not going to change his mind now because Yahweh Shai was born. Yahweh Shai enforced the law. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder. Right? Some of you wonder more than you should. And upon thy seed forever. Even in the kingdom, we're going to look back at this. So from there, let me go to Deuteronomy 1, verse 13. This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 13. Take you wise men, right? Wise men, and understanding, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you. So take ye wise men. Who are these wise men? Well, for that, let's go to Matthew. Matthew 23, verse 34 and 39. Let me break these down as I go. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men. So these wise men that Yahweh is giving to you are the prophets, right? And these prophets, that doesn't mean that these prophets are the ones only in this book, right? Because he's going to bring people unto you, and those are going to be your prophets, your wise men, the ones that are going to be teaching you. And scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and that will happen. Some of us will die for this truth, we'll be killed and crucified. All of us will die for the truth, but some of us will be crucified. Some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and that word synagogue means like an assembly, right? And also, the only people that have synagogues, the synagogue of Satan, right, is the Jewish. Again, back with the Jewish over there in Israel. Ye shall scourge, shall ye scourge in your synagogues. That word scourge means to whip, right? They're going to whip us in their assemblies, their churches. And persecute them from city to city. They're going to hate us. They're going to want us out of their lives. That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth. And what is that righteous blood shed? So we're going to look into what that righteous bloodshed is upon the earth, right? Continuing, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Right? So they're going to slay our people, right? They're going to persecute us. So from there, I'm going to go to Revelations 17 and 6. Revelations, Salakia. I'm going to go 18, verse 28. Revelations 18, verse 24. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints, right? So that's going to happen again. The prophets and the saints are going to be slain, right? That's that righteous blood shed. And all of that were slain upon the earth. From there, we're going to go Revelations 16, verse 6. For they have shed the blood of the saints, right? That righteous bloodshed. And prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. So from there, let's go to Revelations chapter 17, verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, right? Babylon, or spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. Hold on. That word martyrs means witnesses, right? Martyr is a witness, and martyrs are witnesses. So let me read that again and replacing that word. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the witnesses of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered in great admiration. So from Revelations, we'll go to Ezekiel. Salakia. Go to Ezekiel. Salakia. Ezekiel 37, verse 22. And it says, and I will make them one nation. Right? Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua will make us one nation. In the land upon the mountains of Yasharallah. And one king shall be the king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. So those two witnesses, right? Those witnesses of Yahushua, which are the two nations that are going to become one nation under one king, and that's King David, right? So from there, let's go to Revelations 11, verse 3. Salakia. It's Revelations 11 and verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. Right? So those two witnesses are going to be prophets, right? The prophets of Yahushua, the martyrs, the witnesses of Yahushua. You know, those two nations, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Let me read that again. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. Khan. So from there, let's go to Psalms 52, verse 8. Psalm 52, verse 8. Go back to Revelations also. Revelations 11. All right. Psalms 52, verse 8. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. Right? A green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. So those two kingdoms were given unto David, and David made it that one olive tree. Now let's go back to Revelations 11, verse 4. These are the two olive trees, right? The two witnesses are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before God of the earth. So these things were researched by hundreds, if not thousands of researchers, scholars, studying the Bible. And none of them were able to come with a concrete, solid answer of who the two witnesses of Yahushua is, the martyrs of Yahushua. So if they didn't come up with it, and we're telling you this is 100% for sure, that GMS, they know exactly who the two witnesses are, right? The Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. And through these scriptures that I went by Hashem Rokakwadash, and I found these scriptures, man, this is beautiful. Yapa. So from there, we'll go to Matthew, verse 23, Salakia, chapter 23. Go back to Matthew, chapter 23. Let me read that again, verse 36 to 39. 35, Salakia. Matthew 23, verse 35. That upon you may come all righteous bloodshed. So we know that's the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. The two prophets, the messengers, the saints. Upon the earth, and the blood of the righteous Abel, unto the blood of Zacharias the son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily, I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. This generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest thy prophets, right? The prophets, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, and stonest them which are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, right? Have you heard that song by Bob Marley where he says, how long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? But we have to fulfill the book. Khan. Even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wing, and ye would not, right? They don't want to hear about it. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Right? Let me read that part again. That's important. Ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So from there, we'll go to Revelations again. Chapter 11. We'll go verse 11 through 13. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them. And them meaning the Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom, the two witnesses, right? The two olive trees made into one. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Right? They're going to look at us, and great fear is going to fall upon them. Right? And also, they're gonna look at us, right? Because Yahushua said he's not gonna say that they're blessed, right? Until they see the coming of the Son sent from the Lord. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them, right? They beheld them. They were looking at them. They were looking at him. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in that earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened, and have glory to and gave glory to God of the heaven. They were scared, right? They were scared, and they were looking up, and they gave glory. And that word "give glory" is what is Salakia? Is a glorious condition of blessedness, right? Glorious condition of blessedness. They're gonna say he's blessed when they see the Lord coming. So from there, we'll go to Deuteronomy 28. Salakia. Deuteronomy 28. We're going to go verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Right? They're going to look up at you and they're going to say in a blessed manner, they're going to give you glory. They're going to give glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? And that's exactly what's going to happen after we start following the commandments. And that's exactly what's happening currently with the elders of Great Millstone and with the brothers, the Akim, in this sincere truth, with this sincerity, pushing through with this word. Now let's jump down to verse 7. Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. And that will happen. The heathen, they shall come out against thee one way and flee before these 7 ways. So with that, Akim, I like to say, stay strong. Hopefully this was edifying for whomever. With that, I like to say, Shalom. Stay strong, Akim.